In truth, the answer to this question does not fit into an organized logical format, into sechel. But we're able to understand it from various points that we've made. And eventually it goes to the point. In essence, we pointed out that in every sechel, as a matter of fact in every human activity, but because it's about sechel, there is what we call the point. What is the point? Now, all activity takes place prior to the point. Once you reach a destination, you're no longer going there. Hello?
Yeah, I always thought that all activity is based on having the point in mind.
That's right. But they take place prior to reaching the point.
Right, and the fact that there's a before and after, there's a journey and a destination is only because that's down here. But for the nefesh, it's always at the point, in the point.
1 second. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But down here, okay, the point is always present. And the entire pursuit, all activity is directed at the point. But it all takes place prior to reaching the point. Hello?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Once you reach the point, do you still want the point or you don't want it anymore?
Yeah, it's always it's always there. It's always
what does
desiring.
this one thing mean at that point?
At that moment, that one thing is just the acknowledgement of the value.
But is it a want or is it not?
It's present, it's in hand, right? You're there, you've arrived.
Yeah, you arrived. Is it correct to describe it as I want it or not?
Well, that was kind of the question, right? Well, you're aware of it, you value it. The wanting there is just more valuing, I guess.
No. This is what I'm trying to point out.
Yeah.
Every second that you're there,
wanting it.
You want it. Not at one moment your presence there is inadvertent.
Oh, so you have it, but you're still wanting it.
But you still want it. There's a positive value, positive meaning for you being there.
Okay.
That's the wanting. That's the action. This is why I had to bring many misholim for this, like sight. It's a phenomenal thing.
Right, and I don't know if that much will help for me to clarify or not, because there was the element of it's automatic and it's a choice, and that opened a whole nother question.
What do you mean?
Sight we establish is automatic, it's very clear, there's no resistance. At the same time, it's preceded by, or there's a matter of choice. It's based on chokhmah, which was
you have to try to listen to what's presented. We said sight is automatic in the sense that it is effortless.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
That-
And yet, we say to see is a verb. Where is the verb aspect in sight?
You want to see? You open your eyes.
Is there a moment that you will say, "Oh, I had enough of sight. I don't need it anymore." I don't mean of seeing this. Sight in general. Hello?
Is there a moment? No.
Only at the end of the night when you're exhausted.
Is it conceivable
Let's see
such a
now.
moment?
No.
Why not? It's the same experience. You see, this is the difficulty that we have in trying to understand things that are beyond understanding. Truth that is a godly level of truth rather than a worldly level. In the world, everything is a composite. You understand how I got from here to here to here and why I want this. The divine presence and the divine truth is not the composite. Doesn't consist of multiple points, multiple entities. And that's what we say, what the Rambam says, that there is a first being to ask the question, what's the first being doing here? Why is it here? Is a question that is revealing that you don't begin to understand what this is all about. And your ability to understand it is not based on logic. It's based on a neshama insight. And I've said many times, it's really based on ratzon, on will. All understanding is really based on will. Because the will provides the sense that there is a reality, and then I understand everything around this reality. Does that assuage your thirst for knowledge? Okay. Again, life itself, we are experiencing it every second. And there's absolutely no way for us to describe what life is. Who is this? This fellow, this Yossi?
No, different guy.
Different genius. Oh. Okay. He's like it. Okay?
Experienced every second, and there's no way to explain.
And you'll never get tired of life. You've lived. You know what it is already. And yet, you want it with all the fibers, with all reality. Because this is a present, a truth beyond human contemplation. You can never grasp it in your intellect. Zero.
And that piece that it's
No?
that's why you keep wanting it, or no? That's I'm sorry. This that you mentioned that it's beyond grasp. It's what's that to explain?
This is why you cannot explain how come you want it.
Is it true to say that you never really have it, or you do have it and you still want it?
You have it, but not in your sechel. Sechel is a derivative of it.
Okay.
And those people, Rahman Islam, who are trying to build their whole world on the sechel, it's not a real world. A world without a creator is not real. Just as a meal without a host. Of the simplest illustrations, human intellect is such that everything translates on the lowest level also that element of truth.
Right.
Like we say, this is something which brings a smile on everyone. You go to a chassid and you get a 5-course meal. The smile is there already.
I'm not even sure what you're going to say.
Captain's problem.
You can go to the store and buy all the ingredients and prepare a 5-course meal in your own dinette and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And doubles and triples. Will you consider that as a 5-course meal? Is that a meal? That qualify the term meal?
Right.
It's the same sense of a meal, like the cat is eating a meal.
Right. Right. We just said that sechel.
Wait a second. This is regular cleaning water. This is not cat water. Go ahead.
We just said that that sechel follows from, can never understand life itself. It's secondary. So why do we come later and say sechel moyach shalit al lev? Why then sechel becomes supreme? Really, it's secondary. It should be
On the practical level. The human being, as a created entity, the highest level of the human being is the sechel.
But ultimately, if you try to live your life according to sechel, you have
No.
nothing.
You try to live your life according to sechel,
Yeah.
because sechel tells you what the ratzon is.
The problem comes only when you
Usurp the position of ratzon.
and think that sechel is self-contained.
You say you must not rob so that you don't disturb society. I have a sechel explanation. You're missing the whole point. You must not rob because it's wrong. Period. Within the reality of the creation. There's a melech. There is reality, and you must not disturb that reality. That when you rob, you're violating the presence of the king. This is what the problem is. All right. All right. So may you pursue further? Okay. So we are, as of our decision of last night, 5 lines on the bottom on page Beis. The line begins with the word dafka. And then there's a close parenthesis, and this is where we start, after the parenthesis. This parenthesis is a parenthetical discussion of the principle of kelim being elokus mamash, bringing all kinds of different principles in this. Now we continue on. Mikol mokoim, however, still. Areihem gam kein bibchinas yesh meyayin. Heim mean referring to the kelim. The kelim are also bibchinas yesh meyayin. They also qualify in the category being described as yesh meyayin. We explained, we discussed yesterday in bibchina. It's bibchinas yesh meyayin, because when you look at them, you see a lakus. It's not yesh meyayin. It's not a creation. Fundamental truth. Nonetheless, there is the bechina of yesh meyayin. If you really test every aspect of it, there is a yesh meyayin element. This is what the bechina means. Why? Mipnei, due to the fact shehein bechinas gvul, because of the fact that they are bechinas gvul, that there is the element of gvul. The gvul element in kelim is a fundamental element in kelim. Gvul element in kelim is what makes kelim kelim. Like we explained, I'm going off again just so that we are focused on what we're saying. What is the gvul element in kelim? So, on the simplest level that we've described, you can put a cup into a basin of water, and the cup is full of water. Is it serving? Is it a keli at this moment or not? So we all understand that's not a keli function. Why not? It is full of water.
It's not in an environment outside the source. It's not.
What's the crux?
It's not taking it in a limited way. It's not.
Keli means it has what it has to the exclusion of everything else.
But water can be contained, and the infinite light can't be contained.
What does that mean? To the exclusion of everything else.
He excludes all the other waters around. He just this which the keli has, excluding everything else. That's outside of the keli. This is what makes it into a keli. Although the keli element is a true element, and it is representation of the truth of the nefesh, of a lakus, the lakus mamash. But it has the element of gvul. This is the function. This is the meaning of the word keli. And being that it has a gvul, she'einon, which means, hold on a second, yesh meyayin. We skipped that, even though we didn't skip it in overall, but yesh meyayin means that the one of the principal qualities in Keli is that there is a yesh, that there is something there. It is not part of the Ein Sof. There is something definitive there. Again, let me try and demonstrate what we mean, but please try to understand the point. When this thing is sitting like this, it's incorrect to describe it. This thing is sitting like this. In other words, it's holding itself up in a certain way. It is sitting like this because it's part of the entire environment in which it is. Where is it going to fall? Through the floor. If it is sitting like this, then it is holding itself up by its own yeshus. Its own design and its own qualities is what makes it able to stand like this. But if it's sitting like this, its own design doesn't play a role. Okay, do we understand this principle?
That's to illustrate what?
So this is what yesh me'ayin. Yesh means something that represents its own presence. Ayin is not based on its own presence. It's Ayin. This is a state of Ayin. It is sitting like this because the table is like this. The reality is like this. Not because of its own qualities. But like this, it identifies itself independently.
Because it stands freely?
Because it stands on its own recognizance, so to speak. This is the Indian, but it's called Yesh Me'ayin. Why? Because they are bechin of Gvul.
Why is it called Yesh Me'ayin?
Huh?
Is it important to focus on Me'ayin? Yesh Me'ayin? I mean, that you explained the aspect of the Yesh. It's Yesh.
Watch the
The Me'ayin element is that even though it is Me'ayin, even though it is pointing to Holocaust to Ayin, but it's the Yesh Me'ayin. That's the point. I mean, you can go into this. This is a talk in itself. Yesh Me'ayin means there was Yesh Me'ayin means that there was a special step taken to make it that way. It didn't happen automatically. Because in the Ayin itself, it's not like that. Even though it comes from the Ayin. In the Ayin itself, it's not like that. It had to be designed and made in a certain way that it should be in the way it is, even outside of the Ayin.
That's only true in Atzilus?
Huh?
It's only true about Atzilus? Of Yesh Me'ayin?
Well, hold up that question. Okay? Do we understand the point here? So the Kelim are b'bchinas Yesh Me'ayin, b'pnei she'en b'chinas Gvul. They're not really Yesh Me'ayin. They're not real presences. They're not. Yesh Me'ayin is a Gashmi, says Yesh Me'ayin. Gashmis is yesh me'ayin. It's there, and you can't trace it. Where does it come from? Gashmi is so much yesh me'ayin that when you encounter a table, you do not immediately, well, it depends if you learned in the Chassidus, you do not immediately attribute it, oh, this is a sechel element. This is really nefesh ha'adam. When you see a table, you will ask the question, how did the human being stumble on the table? Because they don't realize the principle yesh me'ayin. Yesh me'yesh. What is the world view of the development of society? Tool development. It's all yesh me'yesh. There's not a sechel element in this. There's no creativity involved. In order to see that this is yesh me'ayin, that there is an ayin element, that there's a neshama element, a sechel element, that you have to have a sechel inside. So, the Kedem Da'atzilus are yesh me'ayin. And the only reason we say they're yesh me'yesh is because they begin as gvul. They represent a finite presence, a definitive presence, although they still represent the truth of that definitive presence, but it's a definitive presence. She'einon areich, which is not comparable, l'gabe atmasin, l'gabe eris of habligvul, relative to the eris of habligvul. Ein Sof is truly representative of the Motzerish, of a fundamental truth. I'll try to bring us into this. These are all very profound things. All the terminology is not new to us. You own your home. And we spoke many times. The principle that you own your home, no matter how large the home is, it's one principle of ownership. You don't own every square inch independently. And you are everywhere in your home, automatically. Then you go into your home, and in your home you have a living room and a dining room and a kitchen and a bedroom, and you have closets. All of these things are part of the home. And you own them with the same degree of ownership as you own the entire home. Still, there's no comparison of the dining room being yours relative to the home being yours.
Relative to the home?
The home, we said, quote from the Gemara, Odem shein lebayis any odem. But on the dining room, you won't say ein dining room, ein odem. Doesn't represent that degree of truth, of the human truth. They say ein odem. All definitive presences in your home are all part of your home. But they are definitive presence. They don't have that same degree of truth, representative of the human quality as the home itself. They're not that imperative as the home itself. You understand that? This is the pshat, that it is part of the truth, but it is Mechinas Gvul, and it's not comparable to the Ayin Shabbat. And then also the Kelim come to be, they're created in a manner of Ein Aroich. B'derech Ein Aroich means they did not surface automatically from the internal truth of Ein Sof, but rather they were defined for some kind of a purpose. This again can also be understood from our Moshe. Although that a dining room and a living room in a home is almost a natural outgrowth of having a home, nonetheless, as I said, it is not comparable to having the home per se. And therefore, it is correct to say that dining room and living room were a separate decision. I bought a home, and then it was a decision, I'm going to have a dining room. I haven't had a dining and living room. It doesn't have the quality of the principal requirement as in the home itself. It's not comparable to the principal requirement. Okay?
Yep. Yet you would say that the mahus is the same. It has now what because the dining room is representing.
Because that's right. All of these things, just like the home is due to what the human being is, the dining room is also representing what the human being is. And we said the table is representing what the human being is. And we said a plate is representing the human being. And when you carry a plate with food in it, you haven't carried the plate.
It doesn't devolve into the purely practical.
Hmm?
It doesn't devolve into the purely practical.
That's right.
It retains the
human quality, the essence. And it retains the human quality to the extent that if you eat without a plate, without a spoon, you say, hey, I really want a dog. Why? I'm at home, my own home, right? This is it for this morning. Hashem. We go through and go into these hostile waters, difficult waters, and you come out alive.
Read the comparison between the home read the comparison versus the homes, the rooms in the home. Would a parallel to that be like ratzon versus the other kochas and nefesh? Could that be like a parallel?
Yeah. Ratzon and sechel,
like the home.
not comparable.
It's like the home is like the home itself.
Okay, have a great day.
Adam